I'm back. I know I was on, but I'm having trouble. Looks like, I don't know what's happening now. I don't know that I'll be able to follow it on my iPad. It's coming up at the moment. We are having an internet issue again. So I'm on mobile data. Hopefully we can stay on that and it'll work. If not, we will, the internet might jump back in, but at the moment we're on mobile data. So no more mucking around. Let's go down to the desk again and see if this is going to work. Now, hopefully, I've got all these bits on the side here we don't need. Hopefully we can get this setting up straight. And I'm going to flip you over so it's up the right way. So just bear with me. There we go. There we go. That should be fine. So we've got now you at the desk. This is the annual catalogue. I'm going to show you shortly the stamp set we're going to use out of that. But first, let's have a look at the holiday. Holidays are always fun. So this was the instructions for Love This Memory Notebook. And as you remember, I showed you it came in this box. We still have quite a lot of bits left over. We've got the block, of course, and our stamps that we've been using. This is the little ink spot that I did say would come with it. Now, I've just thrown that back in this morning. I don't use them because I've got a class coming up and this will be one of my giveaway prizes for my class. Now, we also have stickers left over, bits of cuttings. These, just a hint, these came in one big sheet of 6 and they popped out. I didn't throw these away. I used them as frames for some of the photos, which you'll see. So you can use everything in the kit. We've used some of the letters. There's only a few bits and pieces. Well, there's actually still quite a lot left and we've just about filled the book. That's a bit of a hint what we might see. So there's plenty in there to make your book and still have some left over. And as you see, it comes there and your pages. Now, I didn't copy any of the pages in here. I made my own. I got a few ideas maybe, but I did do my own thing. So let's have a look what we've come up with. I'll get this right out of the way for the minute. Now, this is the Barnes's Rosebud Escape. And as you'll remember, we were having a bit of a rough time. We're still without a kitchen. We're still without a car, although we hired one for the holiday. And a few of us are still fighting this lurgy that won't go away, but we are more relaxed. So we open up to the front of our page and I've put this little pocket that comes with it in here. I've got the score sheets from the 10-pin bowling and the, that's 10-pin bowling, and that one was mini golf. I've got some receipts in there, and I also have the ice cream cone wrap because we went to an ice creamery. So I've started the page here with we're taking the ferry across to Sorrento in our hired car. And we actually followed a rainbow all the way across. So it was a positive for us. A few of the little statues at the ferry. And we usually start our trip, particularly when we're going across on the ferry, with a little bottle of bubbles. So we had that and a nice yummy cheesecake to go with it. Arriving in ferry was hoodie time. And we did a lot of chilling out. Alan read lots of books. He read 3 novels. I did some gem artwork as well as working on this. And on day one, Bella had 3 outfits before lunch. She was very excited to jump around and change. On Sunday, we went over to the Peninsula Beer Garden at the golf club and listened to a band. And as it says here, sip, sip, hooray. We had a few drinks and relaxed. And you can see here I've used these outer frames that were around the smaller squares such as these. So that one actually is that one. So that gives you an idea of how you can use the different things. We've stamped in it, we've used the stickers. Here's the 10-pin bowling. The winner of and the mini golf. The winner of the mini golf was Bella, and the winner of the 10-pin bowling was Alan. And then we had Pancake Tuesday. So each of us had our own favourite pancakes. Bella's was chocolate sauce with chocolate chips and sprinkles. Alan had apple and maple syrup, and I had maple syrup, butter and lemon. Now this one, we're waiting for the pictures of the beach. Then we went swimming and, oh, that one's got bent. These two were mucking around. I was trying to get a nice photo and they kept mucking around here, blowing in each other's ears, rabbit ears on the back of their head and things. So I just thought, I'm never going to get a decent picture. So I said, come on, you guys, smile. And eventually got one. And Bella jumping in. This page, we're still waiting. We went to Point Leo and saw the sculpture park. The photos are in Alan's phone for these 2 pages. And we also went to the Point Nepean quarantine station. Then we went down to Flinders one day and had a beautiful lunch at the Flinders Hotel. And this was mine. It was Wagyu beef carpaccio with truffled salted egg yolk, mayonnaise, pepperino and fried saltbush. And no trip to Flinders is complete without visiting the Mornington Peninsula chocolatier. So, of course, we had to check out the chocolates and the ice creams. Bella had her favourite, which was she had chocolate ice cream and chocolate chip flavoured. Alan had an apple crumble one, and I had orange and chocolate chip. And that's the end of our book. We've still got a couple of pages where we might write down what our favourite things were. For Bella, it was swimming in the pool. For me, I think it was going out to lunch at Flinders. And for Alan, I think it was just resting and reading all those books. So it's a great kit. Really recommend it. We had a lot of fun putting it together, as well as we'll have something now to look back on when we think, oh, we did nothing that holiday. But we did. We did quite a bit, more than we thought. So let's get back into crafting now that I've shown you all our little holiday. But that, oh, by the way, though, that kit is still available. And so when you take your next holiday, grab one. It's $44, but it has everything you need except the photos. Now, we're going to use a different stamp set today. I am using the Inked Botanical Suite. So it comes with a stamp set, some designer series paper, some ribbon, and it has 2 punches. So that's on page 94 of your catalogue if you want to have a look. These Ink Botanicals are another special way that they've prepared the designer series paper, and I'll show you some of that. Pop that over there. What they've done with the designer series paper is they've actually got the botanicals, the leaves and things, got bits and pieces everywhere here. But they've used them to create, if I can get some full sheets, Ellie, to create, they've pressed down these sheets onto these botanicals onto the paper, ink them up and press them down to create the paper. So you've got different looks on the back as well. What's the back of that one? So I'll just go through a few. That's the leaves on the front. Here's a whole lot of flowers. And then some yellow. Some more flowers. So it's just a fabulous little way of them coming up with different looks for their paper this year. Which my first impressions was, oh, would I use these colours? But since I've been playing with them, yeah, this is lovely. Look at that lovely yellow. And a plaid on the back. So, I mean, this is good for any project. You can do plaids for the guys, flowers for the girls. There's a few different plaid ones, I think. Well, that's another florally one. A different plaid one there. What have we got on the back? That's lines. So you've got a whole lot of different things here. Here's another one. What have they got? They've got circles. So you can come up with a variety of different things with this paper. It could be used for, as I said, guys or girls. And it's a great one for backgrounds. Now, here's the stamp set. I've got one punch out. I might just grab the other punch out. I might sound a bit unorganised, but I had prepared all this last week before I went on holiday, so hopefully I remember what I'm doing. We'll find out as we go. So this is the bundle. It comes together with 2 punches, a star punch, and a cross. And they actually fit together. There is a card in here that shows. In here, I don't know if you can see, but they're actually fitting the crosses and the stars together. I haven't done that today. I've done something a bit different, but you can see they've come up with some very quick and easy ideas. So we'll see what I've come up with and see how it goes. So I'll pop all this aside, we'll get in our group paper and we'll get started. I'll bring in the trimmer, pop the book out of the road. We need to start with some card base. So I'm starting with Coral Calypso, which is one of the colours in the set. And I'm going to just cut the normal card stock, which is half a page of our card stock. And I'm going to, again, at the halfway mark, which is 10.5, score it so that we've now got a card base. Simple as that. Now, what else do I need? Got to think about this now. What did I make? I'm going to actually bring that back in. A half sheet of this as well. So I can put it through the big cut and emboss machine. So we're going to bring this in because I'm going to create, now which ones? I'm using these decals and they've all just fallen off. I don't want the biggest, I think. I'll take the 3rd biggest and the 2nd biggest. Now, I'll get my plates. It's a bit hard to see with this big cut and emboss machine, isn't it? You can't really see what I'm doing. But let me tell you, I'm going to cut out 2 squares. I will show you. I will hold it up so you can see. So that's what I'm cutting out, 2 of those. And I can do them both at the same time. That's it. I'm coming through. Now, I'll get this out of the way. We don't need this again. So, we have, finally, come on Ellie, come on, you're taking your time. We have our card front. This will go inside the card and this one will go on front of the card. So we need to decorate it a bit. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to punch out, I'm not using this one, I'm going to use the star, and I'm going to punch out, what have we got? We'll have one of these. And we don't want yellow. What other colours have I got? Let me bring these in. We'll see what I can find in some of these smaller bits. No, I don't want an orange. Or I will have one of these. I think 4 different ones, just to have one of these. In you go. The orange, why I'm not using it, oh, this one here it was. It's a bit close, so it won't stand out. And I want another greeny one. What about this piece here? This has got some light coloured green on it as well as dark. We'll just punch out that. So that's got those punched out. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some decoration on here. So I'm going to get Coral Calypso, which is the same colour. Move everything out of the way. And I'm using this stamp here just to add some background to the paper. So all I'm doing is going to come in and just put a bit of colour onto the paper. Use the other side, I think. Can I stamp with my other hand? I might just put a little bit up the top there too. So that's giving me some background there, and then I'm going to put some of these on here. But I'll wait till I'm putting this piece on top so I can work out exactly where I want them to go. For this piece, I'm going to do the same thing, but I don't want it as dark. So I'm going to stamp off twice, and I'm just going to come in like that. So stamping off, you just stamp it onto the paper, and if I stamp off twice, it makes it a lot lighter. I might put one there. And again, stamp it off twice. I'll put one up here. There you go. So that's just giving us a little bit of matching colour. Take those off, sort of matching up. But I also want to stamp some flowers onto this. And the first one I want to use is this big flower. But I want it to have green stems and Coral Calypso and Lost Lagoon I'm using. So the orange or the Coral Calypso flowers and the Lost Lagoon stems. The easiest way to do that is, instead of using my ink pad, which I will close at the moment, is to use the markers. So I'm going to use the paintbrush end of the marker, and I'm going to colour the stamp where I want the Coral Calypso, the orange, to be. So on the flower, and then I'm going to bring in my Lost Lagoon, and again paintbrush end, not the right end, not the texture end. We're going to use the paintbrush end. I don't know if you can see that. Perhaps if I put it over the side here. Bring it up. That's the paintbrush end, and that's the texture end. And the texture end's great for writing or doing fine work, but the paintbrush is what we need to do this. So I'm just again going over my leaves and my stem. Using this colour, you can see what it actually coming up. Now, to make sure the ink is still wet and ready to stamp or activate, I'm just going to huff on it. Huff, and so it's a little bit wet. And then I'm going to stamp my flower. I'll just hold it firm for a minute. And there you see, you can stamp, and that's how you can get different colours on the one stamp, by using your markers. Now, to add a little bit more into this, I'm going to take the Lost Lagoon, and again I'm going to stamp off not once but twice. Actually, no, I think I'll only do it once because I want the leaves to show. So some leaves on the side there with the Lost Lagoon. And the other colour that's in this is Petal Pink. That's that colour there. So I'm going to use this little stamp and put some Petal Pink onto it. Now this is so pale, I'm not going to stamp off. Oh, I did that time because that one went so dark. There we go. And so that's again giving us now a bit of a mishmash look. It's not something I do. I don't do this sort of card often, but I thought I'd give it a go. So that's all stamped up. Now for inside the card, I'm actually going to repeat this so you'll get to see how this is done again. I want to put just the flower on the inside of the card. So again, once again, I'm just colouring in with the paintbrush end, the stamp, and I will colour in the stem. And I'm not using the tip, I'm using the side of the brush. And then I'm just going to give it its old huff trick. And there we go. So that's for the inside of the card. So we might just pop that straight in. There, like so. So I'll use my favourite glue, multi-purpose glue. And I just, as normal, go around the edge. And then we'll just pop that on. And because I've got wiggle room, I can make sure it's exactly where I want it. inside done. The outside, I'm going to just pop this down here, and then I'm going to work out where I might put some of these. I think I might put that one there. Maybe this one up higher. This one over here could go on the side or the bottom. Maybe the bottom, and we'll put this one on the side. Like so. So I'm going to take that off and I'll just glue those down. It doesn't take long, this card, but it does give a lovely effect. I will be playing around a bit more with this stamp set. Didn't get much chance before I went away. So during the week you will see lots of other ideas coming through. Now for the top piece, I'm going to put that on with dimensionals, but first of all I need to do a sentiment, and I'm going to put some ribbon on it. So this is the ribbon. It's a nice feel, this ribbon. And I'm just going to take my ribbon scissors. I keep the lid on my scissors, ribbon scissors, and I'm just going to cut a piece that'll cover there. And then I'm going to cut another piece about the same size, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in a minute. So with some of the tear and tape, because tear and tape is very good for sticking ribbon, I'm going to place my ribbon on the line here. So it's going to go on straight. And I want it to come across about there. So I'm going to place this on the grid paper, and it's just on this line here. And I can see that it's straight against the other lines. So I'm just going to put a bit of tear and tape on the end. And turn that one over. Where's the end? And a bit of tear and tape here. Put that one over here. Right, then I'm going to, next bit, I'm going to grab a bit of white cardstock. I only need a small piece. I've got a small piece in here. This piece will do. And I'm going to use the sentiment "Thank you." And I'll stamp that in Calypso Coral as well. Don't need my tear and tape again, pop you out of the road. And with my star, I'm just going to line it up where I want it in the punch and punch it out. Now I want this to stand out a little bit more than it will just like that. So I'm using some Lost Lagoon and one of the Daublers and a little bit of ink on it, and I'm just going to go around the edge. Like so. Now we'll get some dimensionals. Have I got any left? Got a few little bits there. I might have to grab I can use the edge of these ones. So I'll just use it. This is where you use up all your edge pieces. Don't waste any dimensionals. They're great, whether they're on the edge or in the middle. And I'll just cut some around the edge of these. This is the little ones, as you can see, but I'll just pop that one there. So that's ready to go on my card. Come on. He doesn't want to come off. So that's going to go here. And this piece of ribbon, I'm going to run underneath the ribbon at the front here. And let's see if I can do this neatly first time. I'm going to tie a knot, not a bow, just a knot. Well, that's not too bad. And we'll just trim him off. And there we go. And to pop him on the card, I'm going to also want to put him on dimensionals. So you can see there's a large space. I'm not sure if you can, but there is a large space along the sides here. I'm going to cut those to make dimensionals for the back of my piece of paper. I could go and get another pack out of the bigger ones, but because we're live and I've held you up with all this messing around, we'll do it this way. So let's put one in each corner. And we'll put some down, a couple down the side. And 1, 2, and I'll just get one more for the bottom, towards the bottom. 3. So there we go. Let's get all these backs off. I like making thank you cards. There's so many times that you can use them. To teachers, to people that have helped you out. We actually had our dog babysat, so this one's actually going to go to the people that looked after the dog. And so that's just going to go on like so. And then it wouldn't be a card that I make if it hasn't got bling on it. So let's get this bling happening. Now where's my tool, my take a pick? Now where will we start? We might put one here, or will we go up here? Maybe we'll go up here. And one here, and one here. I think that looks all right. So that's just a simple card. As I said, it's quite easy to do. It's just a matter of learning, you know, some of the different techniques, such as colouring in with your markers, so you can get 2 colours on the one stamp, or stamping off, the difference between full stamping and stamping off, to get different looks, using the daubler to go around the edge and make the star stand out a little bit. And you can use the stamps as background or foreground. I'm going to do a lot more with this set this week. I'm going to play with these colours, but I'll also try and introduce a few different colours for it. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching that, and you enjoyed seeing our little trip. So don't forget, if you are going on a trip, grab one of these. It's a great way to get some memories together. And don't forget to make a card and send a card. I'm not going to move the phone today. I'm going to cross my fingers and hopefully it all works. Or actually I do need to, because we've got so much I didn't tell you about. Let me just flip you up. Hang on, I've got to flip you around. Let me just get my little tools happening. Now I've got to flip you up. I'm really not seeing much on my screen, so hopefully we're coming through. I don't know, can you see me? Yes, I think I can see an image of me there. We've got so many announcements and I've put them on. I haven't got brochures to show you. I haven't had time to print them out. But if you spend, in this month, if you spend $90, you will get a $9 coupon. That means you get an extra $9 to spend. Now you can't spend that this month, you have to spend that the following month, but it means that you can get some bonuses, and it means that you could buy something like this stamp set, this bundle. Now it's a little bit dearer because it's 2 punches. It's $110 for the 2 stamps. Oh, let me just close my stamp, hang on. So $110 this is. There they are. Better to see them than me, eh? $110. Now, with that, you will get a $9 voucher. But if it's $110, make it up to $180 and you'll get 2 $9 vouchers. And you'll be able to spend that next month. So that's one of the bonuses. There's a new kit out which looks fantastic. I've already ordered it. It's $23. It makes 8 cards and it's an all-inclusive kit. Again, you don't need anything. You don't even need blocks or any equipment at home. It all comes in the kit. So we might make that one together. Now, what else did we have? There's, if you're wanting a bargain, they've refreshed the clearance section. So jump on there and you can grab a few bargains. And what was the 4th one? There was a 4th one. I can't remember. Oh, look. There were so many, I just couldn't believe all the announcements. Oh, new lines, new things in the all-inclusives. The all-inclusives, no, the exclusives. I'm sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up. The exclusives, online exclusives. And there is a fantastic truck set. It has trucks and a truck punch. Now, any little boy's going to want to punch out and make trucks. So that's going to be ideal. I recommend you, if you've got boys, this will be the set for you. I've ordered that too, so we'll be able to have a play with that. And I'll give you some ideas on how you can make 3D trucks too. So lots of things happening this month, and lots of bonuses. So don't feel you shouldn't be grabbing something. Jump on and grab a bargain and earn some bonus points or bonus dollars, and then you can spend more again. Oh, I know I am. I'm going to be broke by the end of the month. Anyhow, I better let you go. Have a good weekend and a good week, and I'll be here again next week, and I'll have something different to show you. Maybe even a truck. Take care, and goodbye from the craft room.